Let's hit it.
We should like hide behind one of these one time and pop out.
Is it there's like a balloon animal place like around the corner, right? So did they make those and stuff? Yeah. That's super cool. Huh.
Like there's a business that does that?
Yeah. They do like super fancy balloon animal art and stuff.
They do like balloons for graduations and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We should do a podcast.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's all right. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Josh Lyon Team Podcast brought to you by Velocity Lending. I am Dakota Burke, and with me as always is Mr. Josh Lyon.
And our sound guy.
And our sound guy, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Chris Arias, the man, the myth, behind the board.
Looking good as always.
Technically, I'm in front of the board. You guys are behind the board.
Oh, my goodness.
Got
He's
him.
right.
Because this is the back.
No.
People probably think he's like back there when we can, in all reality, see his actual face.
You mean Malia and my mom?
Right. Yeah. Yep. Those that are watching. Well, everybody, thank you so much for giving us another listen here on the Velocity Lending Team podcast. The process, something that we wanted to talk about today is a really interesting product that hasn't really been available to most lenders until recently. And it's called the Buy Before You Sell program. So Josh, why don't you kind of dive into a little bit about how this process works?
I mean, I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's in the name.
Oh,
so
you buy before. Okay. Yeah. So it's literally what you just said. So, I mean, the grand scheme of things, without diving into it a lot, is if you're wanting to sell your home and purchase another home and you want to go non-contingent means you don't have to sell home prior. So obviously if I'm looking, and I'm a seller and I'm looking at multiple offers, if I have offers that are three of them are, hey, these people all have to sell a home in order to buy this new home, then this person doesn't, I'm going to take the one that's non-contingent because it's less risky, right? Something could happen with their home. It could fall out, whatever may be. So this one's just a little risk adverse for the sellers. So what happens with that is there's a company that will review what your property's worth, how much equity you have in it, and then buy the house for you. They don't technically buy it, but when you're looking in the loan process, they buy the house and then give you a certain amount of funds for your down payment to purchase a new home. So in our world, we don't have to count the debt against you from the home you currently own. And then we can use that big chunk of change for your down payment. So it's kind of like a bridge loan type thing, but it's not a loan it's not a loan. The company's actually buying that property on paper. And then what happens is once you go through that process, the company, your agent has 90 days to sell the property. Mm-hmm. If they don't, then Homelight purchases that home from you, and then you have another like 120 or 180 days to get it sold.
Yeah, it's 210 days total that it gives you. So it gives you that upfront 90 and then an additional 120 if the property doesn't sell in the initial 90 days.
Gotcha. So it's a great tool for people. And I mean, one thing, especially like if you can time it properly. So if you can go ahead and buy a house right now, let's say January, February, when the market's a little bit slower, there's less competition. It's still looking at the buyer's market. I do think once rates come down March, April, May, I think it's going to be gangbusters again. So if you can buy a house in February, then turn around and sell it in April, May, when the market's starting to uptick, you might have some more competition, get some more fun, get more money out of that property. You can legitimately take advantage of the buyer's market and the seller's market at the same time.
Yeah.
And not essentially have to, do that all on your own.
Right. Yeah. It's mostly just a tool so that you don't have to rely on your first home selling.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Just kind of layman's terms for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, and there's more that goes into it. There is a fee. It's a 2.4% fee that Homelight does charge in order to do that. So there is a cost to it. It's not just, oh, hey, we get to do this.
Yeah.
But it can be a great tool for specific clients who are in that position where they're like, oh my goodness, I love this house. I want to buy this house. I just need to see my old house. But the seller might not take a contingency. So if you're competing, if you find that perfect property and you want to do this, also a lot of folks don't want to have to sell their home and then move everything in a day to their new home. So that gives you another, hey, we're going to sell it. You have plenty of time to get out of it because you're not under contract yet, and then move into your new home and then take that stress off of you.
Yeah.
While you can, and enjoy the process a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. Because when you're buying a house, it should be stress-free, and it should be happiness moving into the new home that you've decided to, or the new house that you're deciding to make your home. So yeah, definitely a good tool that I think that we're going to be utilizing more and more.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a big uptick. We've been signed up with it for a while, but I feel like we haven't talked about it much. We feel like we had a much larger uptick in requests over the last month and a half.
Yeah.
And it's not in any of our realtors can use this. Any of our borrowers here in the state of Colorado, we can use this and make this tool available for you. Like Dakota said, you used to have to, like, the first was for specific lenders. We've been one of those specific lenders for a while, but now I believe they made it where it's pretty much universal for folks. So with that being said, if you guys are looking to sell a house and buy a new home, we can definitely help you out in that situation.
Absolutely. Yep. Give us a shout, 970-460-6677, or where?
www.nocolending.com.
That is right. Thank you, everybody, for giving us a listen on the Josh Line Team Podcast. We'll see you next time.
See you, everybody.